Good morning. It's Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, and I'm Serena Curran from Wisely Wealthy Spiritual Business School. And I'm here today to talk with you, to take questions and do readings and healing, whatever comes up for us today. So I thought I'd begin by talking about something I was thinking about yesterday, which was, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And on the bottom of our Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the very first need is for safety and security. And what I've discovered, what's happening to us right now is that there are many things externally that are happening. There's a lot of advertising, there's a lot of news, there's a lot of intent to stir up your fears, to make you feel unsafe and make you feel insecure. And so it's really important for us to actually notice that that's what's happening, to notice that there are people and events and things that are stimulating our fears and our insecurities. And so what do we do about that? Well, I think first of all, if we notice that that's happening to us, that we look and see if there's some things we need to change in our life. Like, do we need to stop watching certain news outlets and so on? If you're here, just make a comment. I'd love to know that you're here. To stop allowing yourself to be stimulated in that area. Another very simple way that you can do at any moment that you're feeling safe or unsafe or insecure, or you feel stimulated by something external to you, is to do circular breathing. And that's simply to breathe slowly in and breathe slowly out without stopping. So these are just two things that you can do right away to help you with your safety and security issues. But I like to say too that, and I know it's true, that the place of highest security is back down deep into your own heart and into your own soul. Hi, Corey. Is back down deep into your own heart and your own soul. And that when you align with your soul, which is an unchanging blueprint, then you're aligned with your safety and security. That's your place of safety and security, back in connection with your soul and your heart. And so whenever you get pulled off and you into feeling like you're not safe or you're not secure, that you can go back to that connection by just stopping and reconnecting yourself and remembering that that is your place of safety. You can even expand your energy outward and outward and outward until you're sitting in your own field of energy. And then you'll feel again that safety and security. And the reason that one of the reasons that's so incredibly important is that you cannot make any good decisions, or you cannot create manifest anything new from a place of feeling unsafe or insecure. So that's always your first order of business, is to get yourself into a place where you feel that, where you're sensing that, where you're connected with it, so that you then can understand what might be the next step for you to take, that you have the power and the ability to be able to go ahead and do that. So with that being said, does anybody out there have a question or a comment, or if you would like a reading, then please take a book, pull a line out of the book, and type it into the comments. If you're not, let's see, I have a thing that will show you. Let me see if I can find this. Banners. I have a banner. I thought I had a banner anyway. There it is. That tells you that if you're on Facebook profile, or you won't be able to comment. If you're unable to comment, if you're on Facebook and you're unable to comment, you can go to StreamYard.com/Facebook to get added to the comment thread. So please do that. You can also join me on YouTube, and I'm not sure how I see the comments there. So is there any? I'm here and wanting to respond to your questions and connect with you. So if you have something that you'd like to ask about, I'd be happy to respond. If not, I'll see what else comes. So, in advertising, it's very well known that if you get people into fear, that it stimulates people to buy. And so that's another important thing for us to be aware of. Now, I think that people that use fear in order to sell are not coming from the highest possible place, but it's an awareness that we need to have that people use fear in order to get us to do certain things. And so, again, being very aware of what is creating fear within you and turning towards how can I process this fear. So I've already mentioned to you, looking for outside sources that are stimulating you and using circular breathing. But another great way of dealing with fear is to do some journaling. And I teach people a specific way of journaling, which is to make sure that you actually describe the feeling using all of your senses. And it's an interesting process because as you do that, as you describe how it tastes, what it smells like, what it feels like, what it looks like, what color it is, all of those senses, it helps to process that emotion. So that's another way to deal with fear. And I'm not getting any questions, so I'm wondering if everyone knew that this was the day for us to do this. I did notice there was a little glitch in getting this announced on Facebook. So hopefully this is going to be something that I do every Thursday at 10 a.m. And because I love to connect with you, and this is a way that I can do it. So if you're there and you can post a comment, I'd love to, or a question, I'd love to hear from you. Anybody? Last week we had 6-7 people on. It was great fun. Garrett, what journey I'm on next? Can you please help me? Well, Garrett, what I ask you to do in order for us to do a reading is for you to give me a sentence out of a book that you have nearby or a favorite quote, and I will read for you off of that. Because to ask a general question like that, that's not a question. That's a kind of a general question. So Garrett, if you'd like to post something more like a quote or something, that's how I read off of for people. I'd love to help you, Garrett. I need you to give me a little more information. Corey, have you got a question out there or a quote that we can read off of? So as you see below, if you're on my Facebook profile, you can go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, and it will allow you to join in with a comment so that I can respond to you. Well, Garrett, if you want to do a favorite, you don't have anything that you can add in? Thanks, Corey. I'll wait for you to bring something. It can be a favorite quote. It can be something you've read that you like. It can be anything, but it's just a little hook for me to be able to come into your energy. A little fun way for us to engage, as opposed to pulling cards or something like that. Okay, so again, we can go back and talk a little bit more about fear and how if you're making any decision when you're coming from a place of fear, then your foundation is not a good one. Here's a quote from Garrett. I loved you, but you gave your love to someone else, but never gave me the love. It's my favorite song. So that's a really interesting, Garrett. That's a very sad, it feels like a really sad song to me, Garrett, and a song of a sense of feeling like you're missing out. And again, even you're missing out and you're not sure what to do about that. And that you feel like you're not being acknowledged or recognized. And so the first place to go with that, Garrett, is to actually acknowledge yourself and to start to look for the qualities within yourself that are beautiful and that are the qualities within yourself that make you who you are, the qualities of what kind of a person you are, anything about yourself, anything that you can find about yourself that you can admire, and to begin to admire those parts of yourself and those aspects of yourself. And instead of looking outside for someone to admire and give that to you, give that to yourself, because before you can receive it from outside of you, you need to receive it from yourself. And so how does that ring for you, Garrett? It's really about self-love. And again, not looking outside yourself like, where's my journey, but looking inside, where's my journey? My journey is into my own heart. My journey is into loving myself. And as I love myself, the rest of it unfolds. Corey, I finally asked myself what I wanted instead of what the world wanted from me. Now that's so funny. I felt alive. Isn't that interesting? Because that quote actually it segues right from what I just said, which is stop asking outside of yourself for what you want. Instead of asking what the world wanted from me, it's really that tuning into your own heart, taking a moment to go in. Yes, Garrett, more of yourself. That's the foundation. And it's the same as as the quote that Corey just posted, which is, again, that the place of safety and security is always a connection with your own heart and with your own soul. And with that being said, let's just take a moment to do that. Let's take a moment to connect with our hearts, and I'll guide you through that. So if you'll just come to a place of quiet and call back all your energies from wherever you've left them, and release any energies that don't belong to you, and allow yourself to feel your feet like concrete on the ground, so that you're really here and present while we're doing this. And then allow your own energy to expand outward and outward and outward all around you, so that you're sitting in your own energy. And then I'd like you to just touch in with your own heart. Connect with your heart. Just feel your heart. Breathe in and out your own heart. And breathe in and out your own heart. And know that your heart is full of love. And allow that love to expand around you. And as you're sitting there in connection with your own heart, feel the safety and the security that brings to you. And to ask your own heart what it is that you most desire. Heart of mine, what is it that would most make me happy? Heart of mine, what are the things I love about myself? And heart of mine, help me to understand what it is that will most fulfill my own heart and my own desires. And remembering that any time during the day that you can come back and connect with your heart and be with within that safety and security of your own heart. And so I'm going to, I'm just going to leave you there in your heart. And if you want to come back, if you want to sit there in your heart for a little bit, please do so. If you'd like to come back on and make a comment or ask a question, I'm happy to respond. Again, today we started out by talking about fear and insecurity and how that's on the low level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And that we first need to create a place of safety for ourselves, a feeling of safety. And because we cannot go forward, we cannot make good decisions, we cannot create if we're in a place of fear or insecurity. So that's the first place to go. So I'm just going to give it a few more minutes and see if someone else has a question that they'd like to have an answer to. I did do this little journey to the heart, and it will be on my page and profile and so on for you to find later. And Corey, you're feeling the connection to travel. That's beautiful. So then it's a question of where would that travel take you that would fill your heart? Yeah. So I'm gonna bring this to a close just by saying that thank you for being here, and I so enjoyed our little time together. And I will be here again next Thursday at 10 and Pacific time, and I look forward to having you join me. And I wish for you today a blessed and beautiful day. Thank you.